Hey guys, Magentas is here today again, and I'll be doing a very special type of card review, and I'll be talking about Dragon World. So I'll be elaborating on Dragon World's vanilla monsters. So in case you're wondering what vanilla monsters are, they are monsters that do not have effects and just have raw power. And I'll talk about the critical relationship, the relationship between their critical and the power sum they have. So I refer to the term power sum as the total as a total of the power and defense. So just power sum for short. And I will also touch on the gauge, the core cost of gauge. So yep. So hope you guys will like this. So I haven't seen many people done this before, so I figure out I should just give this a try. So we have our first size 1 monster here with a 9k power sum and 1 crit. So we have the next, also a 9k power sum and 1 crit. So lastly we also have a 9k power sum and 1 crit. So with 3 support evidence, I can safely say that size 1 monsters with 1 crit have 9k power, with the exception to some shield dragons or something. Yep. So most of the size 1 monsters with 1 crit has 9k power sum. So size 2 monsters have 6k power sum and 2 crits. Size 1 monsters with 2 crits have 6k power sum. Sorry about the earlier mistake. So can be seen in Letao, Shield Dragon as well. And of course we have Leather Buckler Dragon, also with 6k power sum. So we can relate the criticals to one another. So we have 9k power sum at 1 crit and 6k power sum at 2 crit. So if a monster gain a crit, it will have a reduction of 3000 in the total power sum. So that's what I can infer for now. So I will explain even and more clearly the further I proceed into the video. So that's all you guys have to know at the moment. So this size 1 is a very special size 1 with a core cost of 2 gauge. So it has a power sum of 10k and 2 crits. So 2 crits monsters have a power sum of 6k. So it has an increase in a power sum of 4k. So the increase would most probably be due to the gauge, because it's the only thing that's different, the core cost of 2 gauge. So I can infer that 1 gauge will increase the monster's power sum by 2000 power, whereas 2 gauge will increase by 4000, that is. So we have our last size 1 to look at, size 1 with 3 crits. And with the earlier relationship between the 1 crit and 2 crit monsters, I figured out that uh, if you gain a crit, you have to lose 3000 power, and if you have a core cost of 1 gauge, you will have an additional 2k in your power sum. So let's look at our 2 crit monsters. They have a 6k power sum, and our 3 crit monster here has a 5k power sum. And to our earlier example of the Catsburger Drake, it shows that 1 gauge is 2000. So if we use this monster and we deduct 3000 power from it, and therefore it has one more crit, that's for example, that is, so it will have 3 crits. So 3 crit monsters that are vanilla should have a power sum of 3000. However, this has 5000, and if you do some simple subtraction, you'll find out that the difference is 2000 power, which could very possibly mean that 1 gauge is 2000 power. So yep, so this further proves my point that size 1 monsters have size 1 crit monsters have 9k power sum, 2 crit monsters have 6k power sum, and 3 crit monsters have 3k power sum. And this has a 1 gauge as core cost, therefore increasing the power by 2000. So yeah, so two a gauge is a gauge is 2000 power, and a crit is a reduction in 3000 power. So that's what I can prove from the size 1 monsters which I have drawn out. So I'll move on to the size 2 monsters. I will not be touching on the size 3 monsters because they have a lot of core cost, and possibly I will do a separate video on them if I can figure out how they work. Yep, and most of them have very special effects. So yep, so I'll just do on the size 2 monsters and possibly touch on other worlds. So size 2 monster with 2 crit is a 12k power sum. Can be shown on Damascus Armor Dragon as well. 12k power sum and 2 crits. And 3 crit size 2 monsters have a 9k power sum. It can also be shown in Gust Charging Dragon, 9k power sum as well. So it proves that our critical and the power relationship is correct and it's not wrong. So crit is 3k power. Yep, so can be proven here. And lastly, for our very special size 2 here, we have a size 2 monster with 4k power, 4 crit and 4k defense. So power sum of 8000 and a core cost of 1 gauge. So if we use a size 2 monster with 9k power sum and deduct 3k powers from it, it will give us a size 2 monster with 2 crits power sum. So after simple math, you'll get that it's supposed to have a 6k power sum, but this card has 8k power sum, which is due to the gauge. So core cost of 1 gauge increasing the power sum by 2000 power. So it proves that my point is correct. So a gauge will increase the power sum by 2000 power. Yep, so this is basically what I have to say for Dragon World. So different worlds have different monster powers and ratios, and this video is just on Dragon World. I will possibly do on other worlds as well. So it depends on the reaction of you guys. So if you guys like this kind of video where I talk about the worlds and talk about the monsters, you can leave a like down below and subscribe to my channel if you're new to it. And so that's all I have for you guys today. Peace out.